A warm welcome to the Uxbridge FM History Show, and it's a warm welcome back to Ken Pearce, who is, of course, chairman of the Uxbridge Local History Society. Another talk from Ken today. This is Memories of Uxbridge Moor. Hello, Ken.
Thank you. Yes. In days gone by, when the population was much smaller than it is today, people lived in small settlements, clusters of houses, and these small areas had names. As the population has grown, the land between these districts has been built on. They call it ribbon development, don't they? And as a result, the open land or fields between these settlements has been built on. So one consequences of this is that the names of those old districts and settlements are going. For example, it's a long time since anyone spoke to me about Hillingdon Heath or Colham Green or Cowley Peachy and Uxbridge Moor. The moor was the area to the south of Uxbridge, between the Colne and Fraser rivers. The principal roads were Waterloo Road, St John's Road, and Cowley Mill Road. The cutting of the Grand Junction Canal through that area turned the nature of the district completely. Industrial development developed along the canal banks, and the moor became not the most genteel place to live in. The population worked hard for little money. The houses were small, not well built often. Nevertheless, my understanding is in that deprived area, those people looked after themselves well. They cared for one another. There was a great community spirit as the natives helped one another through difficult times. So today I'm offering two accounts from Uxbridge Moor, which give a glimpse of life there in days gone by. And first of all, the memories of a man called Harry Rossiter. Harry lived latterly in Cowley and lived to be over 100, a great character. But here's his memories of living on the moor, mostly in the 20s. When I lived in Waterloo Road, it was not considered to be. I was not considered to be a resident of Uxbridge Moor, because the moor seemed to be that tract of land lying between the canal and the Colne, including an island which lies between the two streams. That island was a dairy farm kept by a Mr. Selway. He didn't have a milk round, so people used to go to the farm to purchase their milk. Unsold milk was fed to the pigs, of which he kept a fairly large herd. In the early 1920s, after Mr. Selway had given up the farm, a factory was built on the land for the Bell Punch Company, who moved their works from London. There was a church, of course, and a vicarage, and adjoining the vicarage grounds was a wheelwright's shop. The wheels were of the large kind for heavy goods vehicles. Opposite the wheelwright shop, adjoining the Pipe Maker's Arms, was a forge, and it was there that the iron tyres were fitted to the wheels. Between the wheelwright shop and the General Elliot were 3 rows of terraced cottages. The first row lay back from the path, backing onto the canal towpath, and bore the name of Queen Street. The next 2 rows of cottages opened directly onto St John's Road. Between the 2 rows was a bakery owned by a Mr Sanders. The bread, delicious oven-baked bread, was delivered by a light horse-drawn van throughout the area. On Sundays, one would see several people converging on the bakery. They carried baking trays carrying their joint of meat, surrounded by potatoes, to be cooked in the bakery oven. In those days, a joint of meat weighing 4 to 5 pounds could be purchased for about 2 shillings. In those days, of course, the streets were lit with gas lamps. So the lamplighter was a familiar figure who went round at dusk to light up each separate lamp and made his rounds in the morning to extinguish them. Another regular practice was the tolling of the minute bell. Whenever there was a death in the parish, the church bell would be tolled, 1 stroke for each year of the age of the deceased. Sometimes it was called the passing bell. At one time, the church owned a bath chair, which was used on Sundays to transport disabled people to one of the services. It was already in use when I became a member of the church and lasted, I think, until about 1920.